Welcome back to another edition of the Uncomfortable Truth podcast. I am your host, Dirk, and today I'm going to be discussing with you guys what I like to call white liberal double standards. I know. There is no one on this planet who is more annoying than a white trendy liberal. I really am getting fed up with them to the point of no return. I got quite a few stories to share with you and some insights, and I'd like to point out some of their hypocrisy and just how overall annoying and stupid and condescending they really are. I genuinely believe that they're one of the major primary reasons that we, as the white majority of this country, are losing our grip here. And they're just too dumb to see what's on the horizon for themselves, let alone everyone else. But anyway, white liberals and their double standards are truly mind-boggling to behold at times. I don't know what it is about liberals, but first of all, let me make this point to you. I am neither conservative nor liberal, Republican nor Democrat. I am borderline libertarian in my beliefs, a constitutionalist to some extent, because I believe in the Constitution. And I'm also a registered independent. So I'd like to kind of consider myself above the fray. And like I tell people many times, I think the big problem in American politics today with the two-party dictatorship, or the duopoly as Ralph Nader likes to call it, I think the big problem is that, like a lot of things in our culture, which is very much geared towards sports, with the four big leagues, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and then of course you have MLS that never really got a hold over here as it should have. And then of course all the collegiate NCAA type stuff. I mean, this is a sports crazy country. Except for soccer, maybe basketball in certain areas. I don't know if any other country on this planet is even remotely like America when it comes to their sports fanaticism. I mean, Americans are very spoiled when it comes to our sports. You know, like in New York, for instance, you can have a pick of teams to choose from. It's like an embarrassment of riches. Giants or Jets, Rangers or Islanders. They even incorporate the Devils, Brooklyn Nets, Knicks, Yankees, of course. My God, Mets. The list goes on and on. It's just sports crazy to say the least. Never a break. And I think that in many ways that competition is good, the passion. But I also think it's slowly seeping into the way people conduct themselves and start to infiltrate all aspects of our life, including, unfortunately, our politics. When I watch the two parties, people who are like Democrats or Republicans, liberals, progressives, or conservatives go at each other, it's usually almost with the same ferocity of a sports fan, like Yankees or Red Sox fans going at it. That's the way I kind of view the left or the right at times. And I think that I think that in some ways, I think the liberals, more so than the other side, have completely lost their marbles because they really are passionate about their side. And, with this big, condescending, know-it-all type attitude that they possess. And like I said, I have examples. Case in point, my ex-girlfriend was a bleeding heart ultra-liberal. I honestly could not talk to this woman. And I'm a fair guy. I will be honest. I will say what's on my mind. I don't sugarcoat, nor do I ever apologize. Unless I really have to. Like I injured you or broke something of your possession or I would apologize to you. But for me to apologize over words that I don't feel are hurtful or putting anyone down, just opinion, then what the fuck's our free speech about if that's the case? Why are we acting like we even have it at this point anymore? Well, anyway, my ex had this unbelievable tendency to brag to me about, for instance, how she would always make sandwiches. And this is a girl who struggled financially, but she would always make sandwiches for like this homeless guy, or the homeless rather. And it's like, I'd be like, man, that's just an amazing thing. You're such a nice person, sweet, to make food for someone. But then when I would give her money, this woman would never pay me back. So I, as your one-time boyfriend, would loan you finances and you would not repay me. That's the liberal right there. They want to feel good about something, but never take responsibility for anything. Do you know what I mean? And of course, she was extremely pro-black and pro this and pro that and all this other stuff. Until the illegals moved in next door to her. You see, one day I'm talking to her and I happen to say something about illegals, and she blows up on me in that typical snotty, know-it-all liberal fashion. The pseudo-intellectual wannabe. I was embarrassed. And I said something very mild at the late. There was nothing racist in my commentary. I just said that we already have goddamn immigration laws on the books. They should be, followed. My own parents, family, all came here through immigration and legal means in the 60s and 70s. I said it isn't fair for other people of any color or stripe to have to wait on fucking line while an illegal cuts ahead of the line and thinks he or she gets the benefits for it. And of course she blows up on me, like I said, in that typical liberal know-it-all type fashion. No-itis, I guess you call it. Until they moved in next door to her. Folks, let me tell you something. For such a bleeding heart fucking know-it-all trendy liberal, holy Christ, did she revert into this unbelievably racist woman. She could not stop talking about these fucking people. And for the most part, these people, when I would visit, were very nice people. When I'd see them out in the street or something, they never bothered me personally. Yes, they were annoying at times. They could be very loud. Their kid was banging off the walls constantly. But you know what? I said, that's their thing. What am I going to do? She, on the other hand, was absolutely losing her mind over this. But as a liberal, doesn't see the hypocrisy, those double standards I mentioned earlier. She or he or they want to preach to everybody else about how to conduct themselves as PC police. They want you to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, or to suffer the consequences that they themselves don't have to. Now, liberals come in two forms, in my opinion. On one hand, you have liberals who are like hipsters in a way, who are living on mommy or daddy's trust fund, so they can go and piss their life away because they have the backup security. And then you have the mindless libtards who for some reason don't realize that they themselves don't have anything, no money, nothing. They themselves are getting screwed by the system in place as white people. And you know what? The fact of the matter is, they just still want to feel good about it. They've been through what I would term as the indoctrination center. And it's like it's so ingrained in their essence that they can't shake it loose. They've been indoctrinated into this liberal automaton. And it's mind-boggling. I wish I could just have like a hidden camera record it to show it back to her in time. To show her the fucking hypocrisy that she obviously had and put me through. And that's the thing about liberals. Liberals want to feel like they're the ultimate crusader, do-gooder, doing right by everybody, blah, blah, blah. But they're really not. And again, I'm not either side. I don't like either side. I am not into MSNBC any more than Fox News. I think both of them do quite a lot of harm in this country. And please don't get me started on that horseshit CNN, straight down the middle. They are no such thing. All three of those networks are shit in my eyes. But thank God for the internet, the unregulated, honest internet that you can find truthful information and still post your ideas. So the thing is, of course, before they attempt to take away every little aspect of free speech left in this country, which we're actually heading to in that regard, unfortunately. But this is the thing about liberals that I wanted to say. Liberals want to feel good. They want to feel like they're doing the right thing. But it's always at someone else's expense. Liberals want to preach to you about black people and Hispanic people and Asian people and gay people and Jews and everything else down the line. And the majority of them are white Christians. That's the crazy part. They don't even care or want to help their own people out. All, being white people in this case, they will always side against white people and or their interests as long as it's not. Specifically, of course, anyone from the liberal or progressive side of things, I should say. When it comes to the other side, the white liberal progressive will never, ever give the other side any help or credit for anything. And the other side is kind of guilty of that too, but not to this level. Now, I'm not saying you should be a racist Neanderthal. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is white liberals don't see the forest for the trees. They never do. The Jews will stick with the Jews. The blacks will stick with the blacks. Hispanics with Hispanics. Asians with Asians. The gay community with the gays. And that's perfectly fine with me. Why shouldn't they stick with each other? They're helping each other out, their own people. Of course, us on this side, we have two stupid parties ripped down the middle, everybody going for their own ass, and feeling guilt or shame or this or that or apologizing. We're bending over backwards. I said it before and I'll say it again. White people have fucking lost their way. We've been neutered beyond belief. Now, the thing is, it's going to be too late for the liberals to fix things, because here's the thing they don't get. While they point fingers and preach and tell us all how bad we've been and how bad things have been, they don't realize one thing that I just said is absolutely true. Everybody sticks to their own kind, and at the end of the day, you keep giving away pieces, they're going to take everything from you. And then it'll be too late for you to do anything. Because while those people that I mentioned may not like me or my people, they like the liberals even less. And one day that's going to come back to bite the liberals on the ass. And they'll come crawling back. Because why are they going to hold them in jobs? If they all have the power, under what reason would they have to hold liberals around? So they can annoy them 24/7? Everybody's going to agree with me on this one. There's nobody more annoying than a fucking liberal. And this has been another edition of the Uncomfortable Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Dirk, signing off for now.